Well, if you ever go back to the woolly swamp, well, you better not go at night. There's things out there in the middle of the woods that make a strong man die for the fright. Things that crawl and things that fly and things that creep around the ground. And they say the ghost of Lucas Clay gets up and he walks around, but I couldn't believe it. I just had to find out for myself. I couldn't believe it. 'Cause I never would listen to anyone else and I couldn't conceive it. I just had to find out for myself. There's some things in this world you just can't explain. The old man lived in the woolly swamp way back in the booger woods. He never did do a lot of harm in a world, but he never did any good. People didn't think too much of him. They all thought he acted funny. The old man didn't care about people anyway. All he cared about was his money. He'd stuff all down into mason jars and he'd bury it all around. And on certain nights the moon was right, he'd dig it right up out of the ground. He'd pour it all out on the floor, the shack, and run his fingers through it. Yeah, Lucas Clay was a greedy old man, and that's all there was to it. I couldn't believe it. I just had to find out for myself and I couldn't conceive it. Probably never would have listened to anyone else. I couldn't believe it. I just had to find out for myself. There are some things in this world you just can't explain. Gamble Boys was white trash. They lived over in Carver's Creek. They were mean as a snake and sneaky as a cat and belligerent when they'd speak. But one night the oldest brother said, "Y'all come meet with me at Woolly Swamp later. You take the old Lucas money and we'll feed him to the alligators." They found the old man out in the back with a shovel in his hand and 13 rusty mason jars that dug up out of the sand. And they all went crazy and they beat the old man and they picked up off the ground. And they threw him in the swamp and stood there and laughed. The black water sucked him down. Then they turned around and went back to the shack and picked up the money and ran. They hadn't gone anywhere. Realized he was running into quicksand. And they struggled and they screamed and they couldn't get away. And just before they went under, they could hear the old man laughing in a voice as loud as thunder. That's been 50 years ago. And you can go there yet. There's a spot in the yard in the back of that shack where the ground is always wet. And certain nights the moon is right down that dark footpath. You can hear 3 young men screaming and you can hear the old man laugh. You ever go back into the woolly swamp? Well, you better not go at night. There's things out there in the middle of the woods that can make a strong man die from fright. Things that crawl and things that fly and things that creep around the ground. They say that the ghost of Lucas Clay gets up and walks around, but I couldn't believe it. Just had to find out for myself and I couldn't conceive it. 'Cause I never would listen to anyone else. I couldn't believe it. I just had to find out for myself. There's some things in this world you just can't explain. Some things in this world you just can't explain.